Oops, is this still the worst? Meghan and Harry are becoming more and more brazen. Just when I think you're doing some cute dubbing in Montecito, Harry and Meghan couldn't go any lower. Oh, they are moving forward and surpassing all negative expectations. And once again, hello and warm welcome to the Royal Family News channel. Just when we think Meghan and Harry couldn't sink any lower, well, they sink deeper into the mud. Just when I think I'm done with these two, that I won't care about their empty souls anymore, they move on and exceed all negative expectations. Documents emerged this week detailing arrangements for a visit Meghan and Harry made to a New York elementary school in September 2021. So the employees, as well as the affected 7th graders, were asked to sign a waiver sent by Archewell preventing them from making negative statements about the event or about Meghan and Harry. They couldn't post it on social media and couldn't try to make money in the future from their involvement. So I guess it was Archewell's work. Forms of distribution in the film industry are not new. But the level of secrecy that Meghan and Harry insisted on, and even the gagging clauses they imposed on teachers and students, is absolutely astonishing. Honestly, there would be fewer confidentiality clauses during the CIA visit. After all, Roosevelt and Churchill met in secret to draft the Atlantic Charter with less fanfare, and this is not the first time that the question has arisen. Who exactly do Meghan and Harry think they are? I mean, what is it about transparency and openness that they can't stand? At the time, Meghan had just published her first children's book called The Bench. Do you remember that? I wish I didn't remember it, but it was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen. I mean, it made the book that the Duchess of York wrote a few years ago called Budgie the Little Helicopter seem like a work of literature. I'm going to tell you a little about the book. It was 169 words long and was inspired by the birth of Meghan and Harry's invisible son, Artificial. And presumably sought to celebrate the relationship between a father and son in rhyming couplets, but please don't talk about the relationship between Harry and his father, because obviously that relationship is at an all-time low. And the dedication made me vomit in my mouth a little. Meghan dedicated the book, quote, to the man and boy who make my heart skip a beat. Ugh, that gives you a good idea of what the book is about though. You'd think Meghan would want to keep the whole project a secret because it was so embarrassing, but no. He had planned a visit to this carefully selected school in downtown Harlem. The student body is 91% Black and Hispanic, 95% of whom qualify for free or reduced price lunch. In other words, this was a perfectly disadvantaged group. Meghan and Harry's team insisted that the children could sit while reading aloud in the school playground. Why should we let something like poverty stop us from taking a good photo, especially when Meghan and Harry's Netflix film crew was filming every moment for their documentary, which of course was released in December 2022. What was the purpose of this event, you ask, other than a promotional exercise to try to sell the bench? Well, Archewell's emails to the school provided details on the 11 broadcasters, 17 photographers and 7 journalists who planned to attend the event. And they encouraged the school to pretend that it was a charitable event and not a promotional one. To be honest, this is the kind of event that the royal family organizes almost every day of the week, but the difference is that they do it as part of charity or investment in local initiatives. And also good causes for the good of others. They don't focus on themselves or try to sell a book they wrote. Obviously they're not going to try to promote some stupid book they wrote by behaving like they're royalty in exile in a country that's a republic. And at least when Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, wrote Budgie, she didn't try to infringe on the freedoms of the poor children forced to listen to her prose. Another thing is that things get complicated when you film children. You see, there are many measures put in place to protect innocent children from exploitation. But those poor kids from Harlem. I mean, they probably thought Meghan was really interested in them at first. That this nice lady who wore a bunch of fancy clothes and jewelry wanted to help them, well, they didn't understand that they were just unpaid extras in this current production called Harry and Meghan. I also wonder what happened to the pillows, considering Meghan and Harry probably took them back once they were done. This incident, like pretty much everything Meghan and Harry are involved in, is absolutely appalling. I mean, by telling the school what they needed to do to make sure the visit was aesthetically pleasing, who do they think they are? And the money wasted on this, while the school was struggling to make money, is a real slap in the face to the teachers, children and staff at the school. And that just shows that Harry and Meghan don't care. They just try to pretend they care because they think it will boost their reputation. And whatever the reason, it seems they still believe that everything they say and do is important and relevant. The reality is that most people don't care what they say or what they do. People have had enough and to think that they did all this damage on their own because they think they are above the royal family and everyone. They thought they would become world leaders. I mean, I'm a laughingstock. And we already know that Meghan and Harry have gone to great lengths to protect the privacy of their invisible children. Since these two were born, the only thing we've really seen are pixelated baby faces, a foot here and there, and maybe the back of a head. This all sounds absolutely ridiculous, but if that's what they want, fine, who cares? But when it comes to respecting the privacy of other people's children, oh, who cares? I mean, there's obviously a different set of rules, which is typical for them. Rules for you, but not for me. Speaking of kids, I loved reading the comments you all left on yesterday's video saying that fake Archie and Lilibet needed to be exposed. So now let's look at some comments together. Okay, first of all, quite a long comment from Kat, but hey, is it good? Kat says, there is so much information that proves she wasn't pregnant. No official proof of birth certificate with required signatures. Lies about hospitals and doctors, the children hate her. It's so awkward with them. And everyone except the SS knows that she is a self-centered, obsessed, selfish liar. Children would be a huge inconvenience, even with nannies, and she's too selfish to be motherly in any way. I don't really know what to think of him in all this. Needless to say, he's up to his neck in water. But I think he could, and I emphasize he could be, he tried to remove himself from all of this. I don't want my kids in the public eye in the comments that pop up from time to time. His body language was really telling when he was giving his speech about milkshakes and school runs on IG. And mothers don't talk about their children like the Invisibles do. All that aside, how did we not get an update on Archie's birth certificate debacle? He had to open the building, more bullshit. For sending him to school or making it necessary to go to school. If she doesn't like Harry holding a mic, can you imagine her sharing the spotlight, quickly turning to darkness with the kids? He would have brought them by now, especially after the children of the whale made the news. Like he does every time William and or Catherine do something. You know there is a photo to follow. The palace must act now. People are furious at this level of contemptuous deception. Probably all that, in my opinion, along with all the other bullshit that's being said these days. Thank you for this very detailed and well thought out comment, Kat. I mean, you made the point. This is why we doubt that these children exist. I know some people on the internet try to act like we're the crazy ones. As if we're just ridiculous for not believing what Meghan and Harry say about their invisible children. But no, the truth is that we cannot accept this story when there is no proof of the existence of these boys. Linda then responds to Kat's comments by saying that if the royals know the truth about their children, it is crucial that they tell the truth. When enough is enough. I'm glad that at least we can all agree on this. Alright, next comment is from Summer. He no longer seems obsessed. 5 years will do that to you. She completely ruined his life by making him feel like a victim. Then he wrote a book, which is simply not done in the royal family. You're right, Summer. I don't think he's head over heels in love with Meghan yet. The following comment is excellent advice from Mary McIlveen. Have well-credentialed private investigators investigate whether these children exist. It's a wonderful idea and I think we know what they would come up with. And then Baby GT says, Charles should make sure they have kids. If the kids are real, Charles makes an announcement later and people know they're real. And if there are no children, Charles lets everyone know. This tells me that Charles can't be trusted either. Thanks for this comment, honey, because you're talking about something that I don't think Charles understands. This isn't just an issue between Harry and Meghan. That's a problem he has to deal with as well, because these guys are in the line of succession. And if it looks like the royal family just went along with this whole scam, that's going to be really bad for the monarchy. I mean, maybe deadly. This is something we all understand, so why doesn't Charles understand it? Alright, everyone. I am very happy to come back here day after day, and I want to thank you for viewing and leaving these interesting reviews. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments section of this video. And don't forget to support Royal Family News channel by clicking the like button and the subscribe button. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And of course, I'll come back to you later in the next video.